Hello and welcome to another anime reaction stream. And today we have Ikoku Nikki, our journal with which show from winter 2026, 2 seasons ago. And yeah, at first it wasn't really something I planned to do a reaction stream to, but seeing the rating, like how well liked it is, I thought it would be a shame not to. At first I simply thought, it looks interesting, it's a Jose adaptation, right? But it's not the kind of thing that's very popular. But I feel like it's still worth doing a reaction because this might be one of the best anime of the year, so I definitely want to check it out. I don't really know anything about the synopsis. I just know it's a Jose, so it's probably gonna be like a more mature kind of story. What else? Let's take a look at some details, but before that, as always, timestamps for the episode reaction if you're watching the VOD. Link in the description for my Discord, stream element, Patreon if you want to follow me, support me. I also have a membership on YouTube, another option. Also, the manga is finished. 2017 to 2023 by Yamashita Tomoko. She had another adaptation of Sankaku Mado no Sotogawa Wayoru. I don't think I've seen that. No, I don't remember this. 2021, Boys Love, drama or mystery supernatural. Not super well rated. Okay, doing manga since 2004, and a lot of them too. A lot of well rated ones as well. Okay. Okay, the anime is made by, let us see, Shuka, Studio Shuka. Not a bad one, I would say. What have they done these days, because Durarara is kind of old. I guess the new Natsume Yugen show. Yeah, they've always been doing Natsume. Yeah, I guess looking at this, Natsume is kind of the only thing I've really seen from them over the last long time, because I remember 91 Days, but that was like 10 years ago or something, 91 Days. 2016, yeah, that was 10 years ago, that's what I thought. It was like a mafia show. It was, I felt kind of mixed. But yeah, I guess since then they've mostly been doing Natsume, which I love Natsume, so yeah. Okay, like they're not the best animation studio or anything, but decent, I would say. This show is directed by Wu. Cast, where is it? Not listed here. Oshiro Miyuki, not even a picture, alright. Director Oso Natsume, makes sense. He's the director on Fumetsu no Anatari, To Your Eternity. A lot of key animation on different shows. Animation director on Umado-chan Season 2. He's the director on Durarara. I still haven't seen that. Okay, looking at this, Ikoku Nikki is the first full directorial debut. Yeah, everything else was like episode director or animation director. That's interesting. Okay, well, don't know if there's too much more to look up. Hope it's a good show. I've never touched too much Jose. I mean, even in anime there isn't too much Jose when I think about it. Let's see what we've got. Sorry about the bird, by the way, it's just birding. Shwa Rakugo Shinju is definitely great. It's an awesome show both for like the character drama and the Rakugo side of it. That's kind of how I discovered Rakugo like 10 years ago. Chiafudo is pretty awesome. Usagi Drop, like the anime at least. I know people always say the joke of don't read the manga, but I think the manga is interesting too, even though it's a fucked up subject. Sakamichi no Apollon and Nodame Cantabile I've been wanting to watch. Actually, Sakamichi I've watched, Nodame is the one I've been wanting to watch, yeah. I've heard it's pretty great. That's it, actually, yeah. That little, as far as Jose. Shirokuma Cafe I gave a try to an episode before, yeah. I guess there's really like so little in terms of Jose adaptation, yeah. Oh, Gokusen is considered Jose. Recently I watched the live action Gokusen, season 1 actually. Oh, Omoide Popolo is awesome, yeah. Polo Polo. As far as manga, let's see. Let us see. There's this one that's really good about like a guy on death row. It's a very short one. The guy's on death row and this lady that comes to visit him. Which one have I actually checked out? Probably very little. Yeah, maybe like 2 or 3 max. I'm not even seeing the one I'm thinking of. I thought it would be at the top, but I don't even see it. Yeah, obviously it's well known. I mean, Jose is like a way less popular genre, but you know, it's one that I want to get more into. You know, I just need to do it. So let's do it with Ikoku Nikki. Enough talk. It's a timer reaction as always, which means that you bring your copy of the episode to watch alongside me. My copy of the episode are the, well, streaming version, right? The Blu-ray isn't out yet. 23 minutes and 40 seconds is the length of my first episode, for example. So if you're watching somewhere else, you might have a different length and need to sync in, you know, depending on if you have logo or something. I've got no logo. I'm gonna do a countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. On go, you press play, I press play. That's about the gist of it. Let's watch it. Ikoku Nikki, episode 1, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. No. The song. Beautiful voice. Recently I had to peel potatoes and I realized it's very hard. Oh wow, the voice actress this is literally her first role. That's crazy. Oh, baby, baby. It's simple. It's simple. And that's definitely Sawashiro Miyuki. I don't like to answer the phone. I'm the one who calls back. I hear me. I mean, I don't think I've ever had like such a fancy home cooked meal. How do you sleep with all that light? Kudos, Amanda. ASMR. A queen? Interesting. It does seem kind of cozy, sure. Like for people who like typing ASMR, you know? I prefer rain. So I guess it's not our mom, huh? It doesn't seem like that. That's a cute hairstyle, the English escaping me. It's like the crayon coloring on this kind of like rough A4 page. You know, there's a texture. Oh, it's a Tomu song, okay. I know the artist. Look at this, beautiful. Is this Yuri? I actually didn't check the tag, I forgot. Overflow. Damn. Hopeless. Is it a sister that was in the car crash? No. Oh yeah, it is. Oh, is she the daughter of the sister that passed away? I see. I see. And she's gonna take her in. Did it just happen? They're all kind of calm about this. Man, I love Sayuki Mishi. I can't speak. Sawashiro Miyuki. Such a good voice. Food is nice. She's kind of ikemen. This look pretty good. Reminds me of something called the Croque McDo that we had in France when I used to go to McDonald's. Just bread, melted cheese, pork, melted cheese bread. Very simple, but my favorite. What do you think? Sometimes it takes time to figure things out. Well, honesty, that's good. Maybe with a bit more tact. Shiba. Journal with witch, and I guess she's the witch. Okay. Interesting. Is she at a 10 maybe? That's why you say yapping like that when she's right there. I've only been to like 2 funerals in my life and I didn't like it. More recent was my grandpa like 3 years ago or something. People weren't that obvious, but you can tell a lot of people there just, you know, they don't care that much. It's more like a social thing. Gotta clean. At least it's just papers, right? It's not like trash. Yeah. It's fine. Just breathe in a little bit of dust. Again, at least it's not like food trash, right? So it's not that dirty. Okay, sure. Oh wow. That's annoying. $7 minutes? Huh. Just not a morning person, I guess. Brain isn't braining. Seriously? My room isn't especially clean, but I can't imagine living like this. Just throwing your books on the ground rather than just go put them on a shelf or something. That's what happens. You need to squeeze it. Is it shy, really? Said stay with me. Opposite of the roles I'm used to with this voice actress. Usually she does like cool, honest character who have their thing together, right? And are confident. Because she pointed the finger, and that's not good. I mean, I don't know yet, but is she not sad because that's how she's processing things? Or is it that she also didn't really like her mom, maybe? I'm not ready to say my parent died. Back to the desert. Terrifying. Never had a journal, never really also like use Facebook or Twitter like a journal. Never someone to really post my life like that. Or my thoughts. Oh. Hmm? What? That's how it is, yeah. Oh, everybody's cardboard. So she wasn't very shy when she had strong belief, huh? I mean, you want someone honest like this. Tarai. Well, she seems to be a writer, so I hope she knows her kanji. Hmm. What's this? Oh, it's piano keys. Sounded like knocking. Interesting way to represent that kind of feelings. Huh? Hmm. Okay, I see. Maybe she's gonna write her journal in a story kind of way. That could be interesting. That could be interesting. Nice first episode. I mean, definitely, a common setup, I would say, right? It looks like it's gonna be, at least at the beginning, a journey about dealing with loss. You know, we've seen that many times in anime. I don't think it's a fresh idea, but it's always an idea that needs to be explored, right? Because there's many aspects to it. Everybody has to deal with it. You know, I'm not someone who especially deals well with loss or anything. So I don't have any wisdom. For me, a lot of time I've just been doing everything I can to not think about it until it's been like months or years, and it's a bit easier to think about it. Yeah, usually you don't have a desert as a visual for that. It's more like you're in a dark room, right? And you need to find the light. That's kind of how it feels, right? I also get not really crying or like knowing how to feel right away. I've seen people deal with things like this, or deal with it like this, where like at first it seems like okay, they're gonna be okay, but then it's like days or a few weeks later that they finally break down. Human emotions are definitely way more complicated than we understand, and how you process them and all that, you know? Yeah. For me, maybe fucked up to say, but animals, like, over the years have been the things that I've struggled the most with losing. I've lost people like grandparents, right? But I don't know if it's like that I didn't know them enough, but it didn't hit the hardest compared to like animals, right? Cats, dogs. Those have been the worst one. Well, yeah, I mean, it's way too hard, so I just do everything to like not think about it again for like months or years. And then when I think about it, eventually it's not like it's fine, right? It's like, you know, time passing helps a little bit, but it's still like, you know, pretty messed up. Yeah, it's hard to deal with. I mean, human emotion, they are great and terrible at the same time. Okay, interesting setup. I like it. Not quite sure how it's gonna go. Could be a story about like both of them growing because, you know, both of them seems like they need to grow in some way. So yeah, it's a 2 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. I want to. I don't especially like cleaning, but if I'm living in an house like this, I feel like I have to. Like for me, cleaning is like dust. I don't care that much. I will let it pile up for months. Well, it's not that I don't care, it's that I guess where I live, it just comes back so fast. Like recently, I did like finally a deep cleaning after a long time, and the dust was visibly back on my in many parts of my room in like 2 weeks. So like I don't really care about dust, but yeah, it's more like, you know, sweeping the ground and not letting things be too disorderly, you know. Yeah, that's mostly it. Yesterday I was watching a video of like those outdoors kind of people, you know, who have an house, an apartment, and they have this mental disease that just they can't throw things away. Literally, like from, you know, literally piece of trash from like a food container or something to every time they go outside they bring up some new bullshit. Like, I don't know, some trashy shelf that they found on the side of the road or something, and it just piles up and piles up, and it's kind of insane. Every time I see videos like this, I understand it's an illness, but it's kind of insane to see, right? I can't imagine living in a place like this. And often they don't live alone, right? They have the illness, but they live with someone who doesn't, but who can't stop them from doing it. Rap. Yeah, she was a bitch. Really nice voice, huh? Maybe that's why she was picked as a voice actress. She doesn't care. I mean, Evan and Frank was writing a diary with the idea that it would be read. It's fine. Of course. That's some nice eyebrows. She's got that gal speech. Maji Ukeru. Not the kind of friend I expected. Makio is really ikemen, no? Ukeru. Maji Ukeru. Yeah, we don't know much of anything. Why are you shocked? Is it just that because our mom was so strict and different or something? A zoo? No, an elephant? A market? The Middle East? What? Okay. Daigo? Oh, bruh. Is Daigo a nickname or is this a gender identity type character? Because I don't think Daigo is really a girl name in Japanese. Wow. What? Alright. A dog that loves cabbage. The vibe is getting better. I see. If you even get like a music with a melody of like a Middle East vibe, or the stereotype at least. Also, it's like all memories are blanking out. I see. I see, I see. PTSD's kicking in. I feel like it's a miracle she's even willing to cook. I mean, she seems like the type who just order. This might be a food porn show. Did not expect it, but I'm just thinking about portraying things in our imagination like this. Okay. It turns me on stream like every time someone comes in and say, hey, how are things? And I'm like, good. It's not always true, but it's automatic. You just say good. I mean, that is true. Does she write fiction or something else? Ah. Hmm. Ah oui. She did that with you too? I see. Yeah. Interesting. So she remembered like a good memory of her mom cooking food, but there's probably a lot more memories that became just normal of her being demeaning. Mam. Absolute mam. Or is it shoujo manga? No, like novel, I guess. Hmm. Hmm. Ex. Hmm. Classic. But it's not that she wanted one, it's more that she needed to help someone. Oh yeah, I mean that's better. Wait, so you've got cash? Hmm. Oh wow. You just took her in without any paperwork? That's the kind of thing you need to see a social worker or something, so they can tell you what you need to do. Hmm. Hmm. She's probably depressed, no matter how cheerful she appears. I mean, you're honest at least. That sounds a lot better than whatever she was with before. There are way worse people that could have taken her in. Alright. I mean, she seems to have her shit together a lot more than she thinks. Even having such a good relationship with your ex. Is it her work? Phew. That's gonna be heavy, I assume. I remember, like, again, a couple of years ago, I used to live in the south of France, but then my grandpa passed away of COVID, so he moved here in the north. And from the moment we moved to, like, for the next 2 or 3 years there was the need to take care of the house that they had. My grandparents, as my grandma basically couldn't take care of herself, so she went to a retirement home. And the goal was to at first move in. That's what my mom wanted, but it didn't end up that easy, right? So we had to sell it, and through that, obviously, process and deal with everything that was inside. And obviously, for me, it was literally my first time in that house. Like, I had no attachment. But my mom, 30 years before, for the first 20 years of her life, she had lived there, right? So that's the first time, but it's like that kind of thing. Going through all the stuff, stuff that she remembered from back then, kind of like items, to stuff she didn't know in the 30 years she wasn't there, right? Definitely very heavy. I don't think I'd experience that myself because, we don't have a house anymore, like, we live in an apartment, and we don't have a lot of stuff. But yeah. These kind of things are heavy. That's why I think you can hire people to do that for you sometime. Like, if you don't have the heart to deal with things like that yourself, some kind of company that will take care of cleaning up the house, packing stuff, I know there's service like that out there. Probably not everywhere, Good episode otherwise. Again, I feel like, I expected this would be a lot more like of a relationship where, like, Maki herself is, like, also pretty messed up, and where she seems like she has some issues. She's a lot more put together than I expected. She doesn't seem to think so, but I mean, she cooks. She has a good relationship with, like, a friend, with an ex. She writes stories. you know, she's honest and straightforward with her Asa. I mean, you know, a lot of stuff that in another story like this, they would, you know, make steps that need to be learned as the character isn't like that right away. But in this one, she's already kind of like that, so, you know, it's kind of unexpected, I would say. Episode 3 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh wow. Takumi. It's a pretty straightforward apartment, so doesn't do maybe too much stuff. I mean, this almost makes me cry because I'm imagining like the day after that with the stuff from my mom. I mean, even though it's not a lot, it's still, I can't imagine doing it. Actually getting me teary-eyed. Probably like there's a lot of stuff that you wouldn't even think would make you emotional, which would, right? Stuff that's in mundane, I assume. Yeah. This is really a good show so far. You know, again, I've really not consumed much Jose, but I always know that it's portrayed as, you know, the more mature side of manga in the same way as seinen, but seinen is a lot more broad, I feel like. Jose, I think of it as more like a lot more humane, mature adult story, and a lot more grounded, right? From the very few I've read or watched. And this feels exactly what I expect, yeah. In a way, it's very mundane, and yet very relevant. I like that shot of that phone with the keyboard. It reminds me of like late 2000s or late 2010, before smartphone. Some phone had like big keyboard. I think BlackBerry was the brand. I remember like one where you had the screen and you could kind of like push the screen up and the keyboard would come out from under. Obviously much better than the keyboard where you had to like type multiple times on a key to get a different letter. Maybe that 3 discard. What is it? Oh, it's a school uniform. Wow. Hmm. The poor plants. I was gonna say, like, it would get awkward with the personal stuff, you know? The freaky stuff, for example. I mean, it's not weird. Yeah, but that's cute, so it's fine. And it's free clothes, so. Oof. A week? Doesn't look like there's that much stuff. Oh, pickles. That doesn't look like it, but okay. Hmm. I haven't. Oh, yeah, okay. I get it. They don't have this level of complicatedness in Japanese because it's all about context. In French, we do have this too, yeah. Because she broke off from her a long time ago, I guess. Well, that's not the question. It's fine to say you don't like hearing it. Like, see, she really has her shit together. That was a very good, like, teaching moment. Using, like, a English lesson and another language lesson to try to get a point across. I wouldn't think of that. I'm not smart enough. Final. Oh wow. Yeah, she's definitely in a bout of depression, no? Even though when she's awake, she appears so much cheerful. We all know that's just a mask. back to school. Actually, even as the mom instinct of just taking a picture of a big day, right? She's so much more... Oh, it's graduation. She's sad for you. But what? Oh. I mean, I'm sure they would figure it out anyway, it's fine. Okay, so it does hurt her. I see. Damn. At least she's finally showing some emotion. I can't fully blame the teacher, like, you know, I get the point, trying to get ahead of like bad rumors or something. And not realizing, yeah, this girl probably just wants to graduate without anyone touching on the subject. I'm surprised they didn't let her leave. Like in France, you're not allowed to leave school like this. They definitely like restrain you if you try. Call, ask for help. I'm sure they'll patch up. Makio. She's totally a mom already. See, she really has her shit together, like, realizing right away. Might as well just take a cold shower. It's a good trick. I used to do that a lot, cold shower. Just turn off your phone. Wow. But I'm worried about you. Do you even need to attend? Don't you get your diploma or whatever anyway? I don't even know. I didn't even finish. Well, I didn't get my diploma. I did finish technically, but I guess not since I didn't get the diploma for high school. I mean, she probably will, but it's done, it's done. Who knows how you changed, yeah. I don't have contact with anyone from school days, so I used to have one person, but last couple of years, yeah. Last time I saw him was like 5 years ago, I guess. That's life. Yeah, in the same way that if she feels like telling you stuff, it's fine. No? It's her feelings. But again, she's great at it. I mean, she's surprisingly great at this. I mean, how cold was that? Ma'am. Snorted at my desk. Kotoko. Wow. That's kind of beautiful. So they had a friendship like that as well. Huh? And that's how I felt with my one friend from school, right? I was bullied and all that, so I literally had only one friend through most of school. Then he moved away, but we kept in contact. But over 10 years, like, less and less contact. And again, last time I saw him was like before I moved. And since then, zero contact. I mean, life goes on, right? But even by the last time we saw each other, there was no chemistry anymore. Like, we were different people, I feel like crying. Probably because, yeah, again, for me, I don't really have any friends like that anymore. Like, I wish I did. Yeah. As I said before, like back in school, I was bullied and all that. But he was one of the cool kids, I would say, right? And despite that, he wasn't an asshole, like, he would actually hang out with me, and he's the one that, got me into anime, for example, telling me to watch One Piece on TV. He was also a wrestling fan, and we both watched that as well. So he definitely helped high school, helped me survive high school, right? I mean, I was bullied, terrible situation at home, but hanging out with him was pretty great and all that. But then he moved out, so we kept in contact on the internet, playing games and all that, in the day of Skype and all that. But then eventually he went to the army, and that was the end of it, right? I mean, too busy with the army for many years. And then he came back once to the town I used to live in, back in 2020 or 21, I forget. And that was pretty hardcore. We met up, and I feel like it was 10 minutes of conversation, catching up on things before we reached a point of like literally having nothing to say anymore, simply because we had nothing in common anymore. He was not into any of the stuff we used to be into, like anime, games, stuff like that, and it was a pretty bad feeling, like 10 minutes of conversation in a car because we were driving to like another guy we used to know. And yeah, just after 10 minutes, we reached the point of silence where like, literally, like, I just didn't know what to say anymore. Like, nothing in common, and just not any kind of good vibe per se, right? It was kind of the moment. Yeah, I realized, I guess that's probably it. And then, just naturally after that, just no contact anymore online. And that's been like 5 years, I guess. This time I think, maybe I should have tried something different, a different approach, or like have better communication. But I just think there was, it just feels more like that's the way it had to be. People change, and not every friendship is meant forever. Like they portray in anime sometimes. I do miss it because, again, yeah, I don't have any other like long-time friendship like that. That's just the way life goes again. most people won't have like that, you know, school day friend that's their friend for the rest of their life, and they always have like a good chemistry no matter where the life goes or something. Most people won't have that. Yeah. That was a great episode. Yeah. That was a great episode. Makio is again like so much better at dealing with all this than you'd expect. I mean, it's surprising. She's much more a great adult than I expected. You know? Great show so far. Episode 4. Let me just... Here we go. I wanted to adjust this. Episode 4 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Kanpai. So because in France you finish high school by 15 or 16. I mean, it's the same, no? You are already treating her great, come on. But I guess she doesn't think so, right? Clearly, again, she's like so much more well put together than I expected the story to be, but she still has this issue of not thinking so, right? She really seems to think that she's not doing great. I mean, she might not like her yet or something. It's possible, despite how she's acting. She might just be the type to just act this well to anyone who reciprocate, I guess. Yeah. And that's what I'm really liking about this show so far. Like, again, I expected some more already done, already traded paths in terms of like how to tell the story, right? Well, both of them has like big, obvious flaws to work on and listen to them. But so far it's a lot more subtle than that, you know? And this is definitely the kind of story that feels like lived experience, right, from the writer. It's too real, you know? And I think that's better than what I was describing, where like, you know, things would be a bit more obvious and generic, maybe. So great stuff so far, yeah. Loving the show. Cowell. Cowell. I'm jealous of this. Is he an editor or something? Like seriously, how rare is it to have such a good relationship with your ex? I drink 1 glass of milk every day for 20 years. But a liter of milk, maybe not. Milk is delicious. So you're still going for her? Is it the kids thing or is there more to it? Very cool guy, I mean. Seems like a catch. You're a bitch, but I'm trying to hold it back. I'm guessing there's a lot more backstory, right? Potentially they both had like terrible parents themselves, which gave them a bad sister relationship, and potentially why she doesn't want kid, right? Doesn't want to repeat the cycle or something, or doesn't feel like she can raise them right. Amazon. They really give us breadcrumbs, right? Not too much of the backstory. But it's fine. Is it that weird? I guess it's a Japanese thing because in France, maybe like if you're like little kid, but middle school, elementary school, high school, I mean, you're sent alone to the first day of school, like the entrance ceremony or whatever. Your parent doesn't come or something. It was interesting, this little difference between countries. Is that the cooking guy? I'm sorry, but that other guy looks like he's a salaryman, not an high school kid. Oh. Sonnig. Aska. She has the card. And there's a QR code. Damn, it is big. Same as me. I mean, maybe last time I measured myself was like 15 years ago or something. Trying to go casually with it. Maybe it's the best move though, like getting this out of the way on the first day. The sand. Fair enough. Don't waste pizza. That's some good looking water. Is that what your mom would have said? Alright. And look at this water. Why does it look so good? There was a guitar girl in the opening. Are they actually gonna do a band? Let's go. I mean, I would be like that too. What do you want me to say? Your mom was a bitch? Like, I don't think I would be as good as Mikey dealing with this. I mean, to say the very least. Trying to not say anything bad toward the mom, despite all the bad things I hear about her. Oh wow, okay. I mean, of course, yeah. But she's not her mom. What? Too much socialization? Damn. I mean, it's weird by society standard, but I much prefer someone like this who doesn't do all the meaningless and not man formalities, you know? Not a fan either, yeah. You can definitely feel the awkwardness. Yeah, that's catching up to her. Thinking that she's living with someone who doesn't like her. I mean, she's still doing great. It's fair, yeah. I mean, you can't. You're doing so much better than like 99% of the other people who would have taken her in. Okay. Despite what I was talking about before, in this episode, it seems like we're getting a bit more to Makio's issues, yeah? Like, again, overall, she's doing great, but little things will start piling up. Like, all of her own trauma with her sister, potentially their parents too, the fact that she's not sure how she feels about Asa, and now seemingly, like, not being able to relate to some emotion that Asa is dealing with. But again, overall, like, do I even need to explain? Yeah, this is so much better. Like, this is the best possible outcome for Asa. Like, the other outcome would have been to end up in a, like it happens most of the time in some relatives' family that already have their own family. So you're an outsider coming in, and they're just taking you in out of obligation or just to look good to the other relative, Look how nice we are. But then you're not going to be treated much as part of the family and all that. That's what happens most of the time. Even if you're not treated the worst, it's not going to be great. Well, in this context with Makio, it's maybe not really much of a family per se, but you're still with someone who seems to care about, like, taking care of you and trying to give you the right life lesson and all that, even if they're not perfect, which no one is, right? I mean, to say the very least. Yeah. Interesting way to approach all this. Very much so, yeah. The more I watch it, the more I'm impressed with this show. This is really good stuff. Which is why I hope this gets a full adaptation. I don't think a season 2 is announced, right? But it's only 13 episodes, right? Out of how much is the manga? Yeah, 56 chapters, and I don't know, but I feel like Jose tend to be like double chapters, 40, 50 pages sometimes. They're not as weekly, so yeah, potentially there's a lot more to adapt, so I really hope that this will get a season 2. I don't know what it did in Japan. I don't know if it was popular in any way. I assume it wasn't massively popular, right? I mean, it's still probably niche, but yeah, I hope so. Worst case scenario, I read the manga, but I really hope it gets a full adaptation. This would probably be a great live action drama as well, yeah. This would work. Okay, great episode. Let's watch 5 in 5. Oh wait, no, I'm stupid. I need to reset things. Here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. What do you think she's not into the music? Oh yeah, they're always like that. When I was a teen, I was like so shy about girls. Every time my mom would bring it up, I was so shy about it, I would shut it down. And she eventually started thinking I was gay. She would always tell me, like, it's okay if you're gay, you can tell me, it's fine. Because I was always too shy to, talk about girls, basically. It was pretty stupid. That pose. Can you? In school, isn't that disallowed? Maybe modern school are like more free on stuff like this? Oh, for instance? I mean, maybe not. Maybe she's native. Do a band. I would love this to turn into a band anime in some way. Keonbu. She seems happy with it, but I don't like that one bit. You don't let her choose, you're like, I know what you should do. Yeah, okay. That's such bad parenting, I mean. She might not do it at a malice, but... That's really like how you make someone unable to do anything themselves, to make decisions themselves. Ah. Oh wow, she was there too. Oof. Having to make a decision, and your mom isn't there to do it anymore. Different friend group. Opening. I was mostly in the going home club myself until high school, where I was a very bad student, and so at some point the teacher basically forced me to be in a club. Well, actually, in middle school, I was forced to do karate, but it wasn't a club. It was like outside, but it was the same thing. Like the school really recommended my dad that I must do something like that. So I did karate for a year, then stopped. And then in high school, I was really bad student, And same thing, they were like, you have to do something. Like, they forced me without a choice, right? So I ended up picking the literary club because I was reading books at the time, since there wasn't really manga in the library, so I got into books instead. Most of it was just like me and a bunch of girls. There was no other guy. We were reading and talking about books, and then eventually the end of the year project was to practice out loud reading, to read some book to little kids from like middle school, younger, I forget, which obviously as a shy introvert, that was terrifying. So we spent like months practicing like reading out loud and all that, playing characters. Eventually did it. And the next year I just was like, I don't want to do any clubs. And they really wanted me to do it again, but I said I don't care. At that point I was such a bad student anyway in terms of like grades and all that they just gave up, I think. Makio Kodai. Amazon, Wikipedia. Oh, grandma. That would be interesting to see how the grandparents are. Okay. Seems like a nice old lady, but I can tell you with old people that doesn't tell you much. How they really used to be. The comparison, no? I didn't mean anything by it. I'm just constantly like comparing my children, you know, making one feel worse than the other, but I didn't mean anything by it. Mm. 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 I mean, I'm sure she cares, yeah. But I don't think that's definitely gonna build up, right? You really said that despite spending all your time making decisions for her? Or is it that she had learned her lesson eventually or something? I don't know how to take that scene, you know? Mm. Wow. She has it a lot more together than you think. Definitely spam. It's always spam. Craft Club. Keon Boo. Keon Boo. Aren't you very different size? Bankai des. Maybe she just doesn't like that dude. That's the artist. This kind of stuff really interests me, like how they think of what scene to highlight for the few illustration in a light novel and stuff like that. Actually, a show I'm about to watch called Naoki Urasawa no Manben, which is the author of Monster, who interviews a bunch of manga artists. I've been wanting to watch it for a long time, and I'm gonna do it. What? But she always has style. Taiwan. Law firm? Oh boy, is there someone else who wants a guardianship or something? Is there something wrong? That's a lot, huh? It's not either of them, so it's someone stealing. Really? Yeah, I fucking hate this kind of stuff too. The paperwork, the official stuff. Huh. Okay, okay. It's fine. If you say it like that. Fair enough. With the amount of unknown number that call me and I don't respond, I wonder if I have anything like that going on. Someone think I'm a shameless person. Oh, so she did. I mean, you really need like a $2,000 fucking laptop for like making music. That's like a gaming PC, like, holy shit. 3,000 yen, 300,000 yen laptop. Like, bro, you could have bought a normal laptop at 500 bucks or something. But I guess it's Apple, so, you know, you pay twice the price for the brand. I see. Hmm. Seems like a nice guy in the end, though. Is he more like a social worker than just a low guy? Don't be jealous. Just don't buy a mic. A mic. Like, buy a way cheaper PC, dude. Come on. A $2,000 laptop. And you're not gonna game. Seriously. I mean, they really seem like a couple. They might get back together. Yeah, she would be embarrassed seeing this. That would be awkward. Third wheel to the max. You can barely hear it though. Where's the bass? Okay, on let's go. Just don't buy a $2,000 PC if you like MacBook. Sure, that's nice. That's it. Very nice episode. I would say I'm still shocked. Like $2,000 PC, laptop. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think music software really like need a powerful PC. Like, you're not rendering video, you're rendering music. That's probably very light. I mean, you do what you want, it's your money, I guess. Just, you know, that's the price of something that you're gonna game on, no? That's crazy. Anyway, good episode. I mean, I like the lawyer guy. I also like, again, the way they portray this idea of, you know, she had to go behind the back because she was still scared, and, you know, she still has a lot to deal with like how she feels about her mom and things like that. But at least she still made a decision herself. And you know, again, this was, like, I like the way the story tells it, right? It was kind of subtle compared to another show where like this might have been more like straight out explained that she needs to make a decision herself or something. But here they portrayed that story, that drama, which is pretty common, without really telling you out loud, you know, and without making a big deal out of it, per se. Just very well done. Very, very well done. Yeah. Very well done. Good episode though. Let's watch the next one. Man, I'm loving this show. I'm kind of glad that, again, I end up checking it out because, yeah, as I said, I was planning to watch it no matter what since it's so well rated, but I didn't think I'd react to it. I don't even know if anyone is going to watch this reaction, but if someone is, enjoy. It really is a great show, whether it's popular or not. I mean, that's often the case, right? Many great shows that are just not popular, you know. Obviously, this isn't like a mainstream kind of anime type, obviously. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh. Oh wow, there's something like this. I said morning, yeah. So you're not giving it to her yet? I mean, fair enough. There's a time on it. Yeah. Complicated relationship, I mean, I can't say I don't relate because I cannot do. My brother I cannot stand, even though I kind of have to force myself because we live together and my mom, and she will go into another like bad episode if she sees us fighting, so I constantly have to take it on me and act cordial. Yeah, family relationships are complicated, aren't they? But I'm sure my story is nothing, well, not nothing, but very different from this show and from our sister story. Iko. Overlap. Wait, so I guess time passed really fast in this show. We just had like entrance ceremony and now summer break. They really have a good vibe. I don't know how you make such a mess in such a small time. I guess she gets in the zone or something. Oof. A lot of people are like that, me included. As I said, I genuinely feel like I'm stupid when I have to deal with any government stuff, official stuff, documents, insurance, stuff like that. I genuinely feel like I'm not on the same level as the person I'm talking to. You know, like a lesser human. I really don't like it. not everybody is the same, you know. She's, again, put together in some ways, but in some others, yeah, I mean, she struggles. She really, yeah, she's in the zone, basically. That's what it is. Is that weird? Don't you offer someone a bunch of options when you come to someone's house? I mean, so even with her, we're doing this kind of visuals, huh? Damn, this looks like a cozy place. You don't have to. I mean, yeah, it isn't. But a lot of people will think it is, right? For the normies, and especially the ones who are married, they'll treat you weird if you aren't. Domo. It's love. An idea. Ikoku Nikki. That's nice. The zone. I see a connection. I mean, for me, it's media, right? Anime, manga, games. That's what happens to me when I'm in the zone. Tomatoes. I don't think she understands what a DVD is. She's a girl of the new generation. Mad Max Fury Road, they actually reference that. That's a crazy movie. Mm-hmm. What? Oh, I was gonna say, like, is she only? I was right. I mean, he's a cool guy. Sure. Really? I mean, same. I don't read books or novels. I only read manga. I can't imagine. For me, it's everything. As I said, it's my whole life. I mean, maybe she doesn't just like muscles. It depends on the person. Don't tell me his finger is muscular or something. Oh wow. I was gonna say since earlier, like, why does she have the freaking nose around her neck? I thought it was a medallion of some sort, but no, it's a nose. What's that about? Yeah, obviously don't just fall for like the quick feelings when you know that the deep feelings get more complicated. So, we kiss, we don't kiss. We bang, we don't bang. Why do you have a noose around your neck? Like, genuinely. We interrupt like every anime. Yep. At least she interrupted herself. Though. Yeah, because getting back into a relationship, which might break again, might mean that next time they won't be friends again. I mean, fair. This is good. Didn't expect romance in this. Even though I joked about Yuri early on. Clean boy. Okay. Suddenly it turned shoujo with the other over the top line. Interesting. That is really not the vibe I expected after all this. But not bad, yeah. Not bad. Like obviously, you know, I think what's interesting about the dynamic of this show is that on one side you have Asa dealing with her stuff as a 15-year-old, and you know, I would say most animes are about like 15-year-olds to an extent, or high schoolers, right? So, you know, not that our part is interesting, but you know, what makes this show great so far is that we're dealing also with a, you know, with like an adult in comparison. I mean, she's probably in her 30s, right? With very different life experience and different like issues, and as we all know, like there's so much less shows like that. As majority of stories tend to be set in high school, about high school character and their problem. So instantly, yeah, that's more interesting, right? I would say like this is romance, but this is also like, you know, much more mature subject, right? About like the complicated feelings of relationship, you know. Let's see how it develop. It's good stuff though. Genuinely good stuff. Alright then. So yeah, really enjoyed this one too. I'm gonna take a quick break before we watch the next two. Let me just reset this. 7 is next. Okay, I'm gonna come back in 5 minutes, quick break. Okay, I'm back. Sorry for the wait. So yeah, let's continue this incredible show with episode 7 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Like, obviously, from what we've seen of the mom so far, she feels like a bitch, and she definitely was. But you know, people are like that for a reason most of the time. Not that it justifies any of it, but it's still better to learn about why they're like this. Which I wonder if we'll have any chance of that in any kind of way. Yeah. Again, as I said before, like I'd assumed, growing up, the cycle, right? The parents themselves being kind of like this, making her end up like this. It's hard to really know, yeah. Yuku. Live in writing. That's how it is, yeah. I mean, it's more her problem, right? Just assuming that you're a bad person because you don't show up for something like this. Yeah. Right. But I haven't had fries in years. Mm. Smart. But this is a good step. I mean, my mom is also someone who forgets stuff all the time. Like, and every time I tell her to just put an alarm on her phone, and she forgets that too. Which is fair, yeah. That's probably better, right? I mean, you're saying that, but you've already taught her many lessons. You don't have to be a parent to give lessons to people. That's a good question. I'm sure she's popular with girls too. Oh, she didn't know. It does seem like the show is shifting quite a bit toward the relationship stuff. Huh? Oh, is it Yuri or is it just, I don't know. Yeah, this part that she just doesn't want relationship. Mm. Mm. Oh, she's gonna find it so early. You can't be selfless. I mean, that's totally how I think. I barely can take care of myself. So, I have no intention of living with someone. Damn. As expected, she really has her own things to deal with. I mean, yeah, and she's dead, so you really can't get your answer. I mean, I think some people might think that, only obviously abusive parents don't love their children, right? But even those who look good, would try to act loving, that doesn't mean they do, right? There's a lot like that. My dad was an absolute piece of shit. I'll spare you all the details of how bad he was. But he was really like, to abbreviate it, he should have spent the rest of his life in prison, at the very least. And he was just great in public, acting like a nice guy, and, someone who cares about his child in front of, anyone outside, But that mask would break instantly the second we step into beyond the door, right? So again, like from the outside, most people really can't tell. It doesn't always have to be someone who's obviously a piece of shit to their kid. Sometimes, even people who seem like they care, it's just a mask. You don't know. And again, there's the problem here for Asa is that she doesn't know, right? Because her mom is gone, she will never be able to be sure. Man, this is all pretty heavy, huh? This is all pretty heavy. Seriously. It's a great show, but heavy to watch, especially if like a lot of the topic here eat you like they do me, right? It's heavy. Anyway, last episode for today, episode 8, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. this won't be as easy to deal with. Because again, our mom is gone. So many answers cannot be answered. So many questions can be answered. Man, I can't even imagine. Yeah. Again, for me, animals have been the biggest thing that I've lost and that has hurt me, right? But obviously, a relationship with an animal isn't the same, right? I miss them and I wanted them to live longer, but it's not like, I have any unanswered question per se. With an animal, it's not that kind of relationship, right? So I haven't quite experienced the loss of someone like this, where, so much more I wanted to know from them. Again, for me, it's been grandparents, and I wasn't really close, Obviously, my fear is when my mom's time to come, She's at 50, she's a smoker, she's got a lot of issues, I'm always trying to mentally get ready for it, but I know it's impossible, right? I have no idea I'll be able to even deal with it, since, animal deaths have already wrecked me so much many times, many times to the point of like feeling like I could barely deal with it. So I can't imagine what the feeling will be like. I mean, I can feel some empathy for the situation, right? But I haven't actually experienced it. Yeah, losing someone with which you're really close, but you have a very complicated relationship and still many questions. And you could say, then you should just ask them now, but it's not that simple. Wonder. It's emotional issues. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. She's just in town thinking about things. Mm, sure. That's constantly the question, right? But if you know people, you know that question isn't really great, right? No one really knows what the parents are like behind closed doors. Yeah, fair enough. In this case, fair enough. Okay, but that's superficial. What do you mean you have nothing? You have friends. You got lucky with a pretty good guardian. You get a $2,000 mic. Just game. Don't flirt. I mean, not just for that, but that's like a step on the way. For me, I skipped school many times, but not in that way. Like, I would just say I'm sick and stay home. It was a lie, right? But I would never just act like I'm going to school and then go somewhere else. Because I didn't want to be outside. I wanted to be in my room playing games, watching TV or whatever. Realistically, in a perfect world, all parents would have to go on, like, all people who want to be parents or are about to be parents, they would have to do some kind of like mandated seminar over like maybe months and many hours or something to try to teach them this kind of lesson. you know, in a perfect world. Okay, maybe you're going a bit far with that. Have you interacted that much? Because it's not a lie. Yeah. You're not a dad yet. It's not that bad. Yeah, take a breath and talk. It's still something? It's understandable. Hmm. Sure. Don't break it. Yeah, there's no simple answer with something like this. I mean, we all wish there was, but there's never a simple answer. Incorporating stuff into a story. Empathie. Human beings are complicated, that's for sure. Because an harsh truth is better than a kind lie. It's hardly understood, it's satiated, right? Like, you don't want to I understand. You don't. Finally, she's acknowledged it fully. As the actress, it's good considering this is her first anime role. Like, even if they, like, even if they died of normal cause or something, like, you'd always feel like that. Again, for me, I can't quite relate. As I said, I haven't lost someone in that way. But I'm thinking of one of my cats, for example. She was like 20, 21, and she was still full alive, but her teeth were getting really bad. And she started slowly not eating anymore. And the vet said, like, she's too old. She needs an operation to her teeth, but she's too old to survive the anesthesia. So it's better not to do it. And then eventually she's fully stopped eating, so we had to put her down. But the thing is that it took 3 shots of anesthesia to put her down. Which, since then, has always made me struggle and think of, like, she probably could have had the operation and survived other years, because outside of that, she was still like a Genki cat, And it's, in terms of similar feeling to this is the feeling of, like, the what if, the, thinking back on it and, if I could have talked to the cat, she would have told me, yeah, I can survive this operation, so please don't put me down, do this operation, I know that sounds stupid, but that's probably like the only thing that I can feel right now that feels a bit similar to her, But again, I can't say I understand. I feel empathy. I can think of my own things, but obviously it's nothing the same as a situation. And again, like, you can put the situation of, like, you know, two kids who lost their parents when they were young, and say, you know, they're the same, but they're not. Everybody will deal with this kind of thing differently, and also they have different life, even if, like, the event itself of losing the parents is the same. That doesn't mean anything is the same, their feelings are the same, and that you have, like, a single right answer on how to help them deal with it. Human beings and feelings are too complicated for all that, you know? Yeah. Another great episode. This show is, it's pretty damn great. I'm so glad I'm watching it. I mean, I would have watched it on my own anyway, but yeah, when it's a great show like that, I'm glad I'm doing reaction, you know? I think that's the best way I can put it. So yeah, we'll be finishing it next week with the next 5 episodes, and then pray for season 2. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys next time. ExoticBankai. See you.